Tonight I'm going to be event training a horse in an event that requires every stat but speed. I've never trained in reining before. I've never even looked at any kind of guide for reining, so this is just going to be using my base everything but speed training. And that means you can use this as the base for any kind of other events that require similar stats. So the first thing you want to do when you're training a new event is you want to go up here and look at the trials, because that'll tell you what stats are most important. And here you can see this is what I had jotted down in the horse's notes. I just wanted to show you how to get to this page. You can also go look at horses in the competition that are doing well and try and model your stats based on theirs. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go with my standard diet. Everyone has a different diet. Mine's 35-15, 35-15. I will be changing that later, though, because the hyperness is -1. And that 35-15, 35-15 is a hyper diet. I also start all of my evented horses in halter, because that way gated will raise surefoot and movement, whereas if they're in any other discipline, gated won't do that. So that we have this, you're going to want to open your vet tab in another window or tab, and vaccinate the horse, and cure the horse, and then trank it to get ready for the boost trank method, because that's what we'll be using the entire time. If you don't know how to use the boost trank method, I have a video on that, so please refer to that video. And the first thing I do with all of my horses is I get intelligence out of the way by training obstacle 6 times per turn until intelligence is maxed. Of course, using boost trank. Once the horse's intelligence is maxed, you can start working on other things. All competition horses need to have disciplines to 200 out of 150, and so I'm going to go ahead and train disciplines. Let's see, 2 times? Yep, 2 times will do the trick after maxing using obstacle. And then from here on, I get the pick of these, since at 2.5 is when you get all the options available. So I usually like to go with halter, because it gives me a leg up on training movement and surefoot. So now that we have all the options available, we're going to want to max surefoot and movement, because those are kind of important to the competition. And then strength would be another one of the stats that we're looking for. So to do that, gated is the most effective, especially since we don't need speed, because polo is the other one that increases movement, but polo is for speed horses. So you're going to train gated 6 times per turn. And obviously not all the trainings are going to fit in, so you're going to want to use extra boosts as necessary. So I might have over boosted. And then if you use a lot of boosts, you can cure before you trank. And again, that's until surefoot. At the beginning we should have shod the horse, so I'm going to shoe the horse now with traction shoes. Always shoe the horse with traction shoes to begin with, in general. But since this is a Western horse, I'm just going to keep those shoes on the entire time. And that'll allow me to get surefoot to 225 and movement to 215. So you may be looking at this horse going, hey, strength and surefoot aren't maxed, what's the deal? And the deal is strength will max on its own. With continued training, you should really never need to focus on purely strength unless you're doing some kind of driving horse. And then surefoot, if you've got the breed bonus for training, which I do, the stock bonus, you'll get an extra 0.02 random boost per training that should finish off your surefoot for you once you're close enough. Now that I've got everything more or less maxed that needs to be maxed, except endurance, which will also max itself, if you continue using the Trank Boost method, you're going to need to look at what stats are most important in this event. And I'm finding that strength and intelligence are the most important stats at 10% and 8% respectively. And to do that, to raise those two, my preferred training method would be halter. If those stats were speed and strength, I would use cattle work, and if strength was by far the most important stat, I would use driving. But for this horse, I'm going to use halter 6 times per turn until we've got endurance up to 200%. And you'll find when endurance gets around 175%, you'll start losing that 0.25% boost in your early trainings in the turn. And so you'll eventually, once you get towards that 175 endurance, you're going to want to change your diet to 100-0-0-0. And don't confuse this with the drop diet method, because we're not actually dropping the diet below 100%, but this will give it a slight endurance boost, which will allow you to get to 200% using the normal boost strength method, or 200 points using the normal boost strength method. So once again, I'm going to train halter 6 times per turn until I've got endurance up to 200, and that'll max out my strength for me as well. Just a word of advice, after you drop your diet to 100-0-0-0, every once in a while you're going to want to cure about every 2 or 3 turns. You're going to cure before you trank, because otherwise your horse will become too exhausted for you to use boosters on, and that's no good. So after you have endurance to 200, the normal boost trank method doesn't really work anymore. So we're going to have to kind of double your efforts. And so from now on, until you have endurance max, you're going to want to trank twice per turn, which means you also have to boost twice per turn. Looks like I'm not in good health, but right. And then continue to train halter as well. So again, boost once. Actually, we're going to cure. Okay. We're just going to go ahead with that. Cure it. Trank. Twice. Halter. And then boost twice. And then if it doesn't allow you to boost twice like this, you can actually go into your inventory and use boosters from your inventory. And even though it says the horse is not in good health and you don't want to apply the injection, you actually do. And so that gave you 2 boosts. Cure. Trank. Trank. And then one last time. Train. Boost. Boost. Use one from your inventory. Turn. Cure. Drink. Until you have your endurance all maxed out. I've got endurance all maxed out, so I'm going to change my diet now to the final diet, 45-5, 45-5, which is the diet I use for horses who need hyperness to be down, so we need hyperness to be -1. And so my 45-5, 45-5 diet will keep it from going up. But I also like to trank the crap out of my horses until you can't trank them no more. And then continue with the halter treatment, and we can stop the boost strength method now, because endurance isn't going to go up anymore. And you can tell when your horse is fully trained or not by going dressage, by doing a trial in dressage. And next to hyperness, it should say in these brackets -5 or -10. And once you get down to that number, you know that you are fully trained. And then, like I said, this diet will keep it so that you're fully trained. And then from here on out, we can switch. Actually, after you're done with Surefoot is when you can switch to whatever your specialty is going to be. And then that'll automatically level very easily. You're going to attack your horse. And then know for your event if you need an NPC or if you need the riding skill, and which NPC you're going to need. And then train the horse to the desired age using whatever training you've been using to max endurance. And so I'm just going to keep training halter until the horse is 8 years old, and enter the horse in events right as I get up to that 8-year mark, so I don't have to take any extra turns after it turns 8 to enter in events. Now that your horse is fully event trained, you can go see current events that are running and compare them to other local horses around your horse's age. What I'm noticing with reining events is my horse's strength is a lot lower than it should be, but the intelligence is way higher than other horses of its level. So considering strength is 10% and intelligence is 8%, I'm thinking my intelligence will balance out the lack of strength, and I should place right around some of the top competitors for reining currently at the local level. So I'll also post a link to this horse on the forum with this guide.